7. I am sitting here with Matthew Laborde from Elephant Realty. We're going to be talking about commercial trends in Baton Rouge. I wanted to get him in because if you're like me, you want to know what's going on with commercial real estate in this town. I run a small business as an entrepreneur, so Matthew, welcome.
Franz, it is a pleasure to be here.
Excellent, excellent. So Matthew, what we're going to be talking about, and we're on Facebook Live too,
Okay.
what we're going to be talking about is what is hot in commercial real estate right now in Baton Rouge, what are things that they need to know about, and then what are places, and look, we both agree that there are no such things as not hot or cold. There's
exactly
only opportunities. But what are the places that people need to possibly be looking? And then also, we've got to talk about Florida Boulevard.
Absolutely.
So let's kick it off. What's hot right now?
So what's hot right now is, of course, and we've read this in the Business Report and other articles in the Advocate, Government Street is incredibly hot right now.
Okay.
So Government Street, you can't get enough restaurant and bar space.
Okay.
Our phone is ringing off the hook with new concepts that want to go there. And right when we think it's enough bars and restaurants, more want to come. So we'll see how that plays out. But right now, Government Street is incredibly hot.
Oh yeah.
Also hot is Jefferson and Bluebonnet. So the area around Jefferson and Bluebonnet for office space is in a ton of demand. There's a lot of office space, a lot of office parks under construction right now, coming to beat that demand. So over the next year or two, you're going to see that, taper off. There'll be more supply than there is demand, but right now is a great time to own office.
How's downtown looking?
Downtown, I love downtown.
I work and play downtown.
So last month I moved downtown and for my residence,
Right.
and for my office.
Okay.
So I walk to work. I'm totally 100% into downtown.
So Borghardt Law Firm is located on St. Ferdinand in Louisiana. I absolutely love being downtown. And I tell people all the time, Matthew, that downtown leasing is very affordable. For as hot of a place as downtown is, and look, I know it's not government right now, and government's on fire, but you can get a great deal on downtown right now if you're, whether it's a big skyrise kind of scenario or commercially zoned residential house, downtown's doing great. So
You're exactly right. So the big, historically, why people didn't want to go downtown, it's because of, what they always say is, well, you got to pay for parking. You got to pay rent, and then you got to pay for parking, as if it's some huge expense. But if you're looking at the lease rates right now in downtown, we have a client. There's a space that traditionally got $20 per square foot, extremely nice space, listed on the market for $20 per square foot. We had a client that offered them $12, and the landlord took it.
wow.
$12 per square foot. This is space that anywhere else in town, Highland Road, Jefferson Highway, Bluebonnet Boulevard, that would get $20+ per square foot.
These are definitely things you need to be thinking about if you're going to be starting a small business and you're looking at your overhead. We want to be in sexy places, but in the same breath, we also need to be efficient. Now look, Matthew, we're about to hit a break. We're going to be sticking around for Facebook Live. Don't go anywhere, guys. Facebook Live will be running on, and then we'll come back after the break with Matthew Laborde from Elephant Realty.
So we're still on live.
So we're still Facebook Live, right?
Awesome.
All right, so here's my other question.
Wait. I want to go more on downtown.
All right, let's talk more downtown.
Because here's the thing. It's my big thing right now.
Okay.
So people always equate, okay, you got to pay for parking downtown in addition to rent, right? Well, in other areas, in downtown, a lot of these leases, you got janitorial that's included, you've got electricity that's included, water that's included. All of these expenses that anywhere else in town, you're going to pay in addition to your rent. You don't have to pay downtown. So usually the cost of the parking, which you do have to pay for, which is anywhere from $60 to $100 per space per month. The difference between that and having to pay utilities or janitorial at a space on Jefferson and Bluebonnet, they cancel each other out.
Right, and it's all tax deductible. So if you're running a business, now look, I'm fortunate.
Yeah.
My law office has parking behind it, which is a commodity where I am. So my clients can actually park and then walk to court. Other people have to park in the parking towers downtown. But I tell all the attorneys that are thinking about renting space there, just buy a parking pass for your potential clients.
Yeah.
Basically validate their parking and then write it off.
Right.
So I was on North Boulevard. About a week ago,
Mhm.
and I was very impressed. And I was very
North
impressed.
Boulevard downtown.
Downtown.
Okay.
So in
What were you
particular,
impressed by?
just the cleanliness of it,
Yeah.
the what I saw to be potential of what looks like residential housing that could be easily commercially zoned.
Mhm.
It's again, I'm a big proponent of Florida Boulevard. We're going to talk about that when we come back.
Yes.
Dude, I think Florida Boulevard is going to be the next frontier. I've said it. I'll say it on the radio.
Yeah.
The business report article. I don't think that's a fair assessment.
No man's land.
Yeah, no man's land. So, meanwhile, while we're talking on Facebook Live, since we have a couple of minutes left, if people want to get more information, and we'll talk about this on the radio, if they want to get more information about you guys, whether it's, hey, I'm interested in hiring you guys to purchase, to get a lease, to property manage, whatever,
Yeah.
how do they get in touch with you guys?
So we do commercial brokerage. strictly.
Okay.
So sale and lease of every kind of type of property except for single family housing.
Okay.
So office buildings, multifamily apartment buildings, selling them, retail, industrial space, and you can find out. I don't know if Facebook Live can see this, but it's zoom into that video. It's Elifin, ELIFIN Realty.com. ElifinRealty.com. But they can call our number 800-895-9329.
I like it. And look, if you guys don't do a service, you certainly are in the know to find people that do the service, right?
Absolutely.
Right. You know, and I tell people all the time, the best form of referral is from a known source and an authority on something else that says, look, I'm not a foot surgeon, I'm a neurologist, but you need to go see this guy. You know,
Yeah.
those are the most convertible from a client standpoint, but also from a reliability standpoint. So I'm glad you guys are here this morning. And
Thank you so much for having
who's
us.
who's behind the mic
We got
over here?
Paul from Intern Question Fame.
Dude, I love it. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna be coming back live. We're gonna talk about Florida Boulevard for we got about 7-minute segment, right, Taylor? About 7 minutes, plus or minus.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I got some big ideas for Florida.
I like it.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you
Okay.
pull the leash on
Okay.
that.
All right.
I'll lead us into it.
Yeah.
But I am highly. I think Regal wrote the article.
Regal wrote the article.
So I'm gonna respectfully disagree with Miss Regal.
Okay.
I don't think it's a no man's land. Are we coming back at?
Coming back in about a minute and a half.
Okay. You just let me know. How do you normally warn people?
I just say 10 seconds.
Okay, that's fine.
And then I'll just play a little music, point to you.
I don't know what I'm doing.
You're fine, dude.
Facebook, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm a lawyer. I'm hosting a radio
Don't
show.
let him
What's
fool
this?
Man, no big
He
deal.
knows exactly what he's doing. So I don't have I mean, we'll talk about the article. But I mean, you got two parts of it. You got the bad, the no man's land, the hopeless, the despair, and then you got okay, here's a few commercial real estate brokers saying, hey, here's the opportunity.
So my vision is you buy on the cheap
Mhm.
and you develop the heck out of it
Yeah.
and you make it into an oasis. And there are pockets of Florida that have these little oases.
Right.
What's the name of the building? Used to be Cox. It's near Tech Park.
You're
It's,
talking about Boncaret.
yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Yeah, Cox
oasis.
is still there.
Yeah,
Cox is still
yeah.
there. Yeah.
And so to me, if as a lawyer, to
Right.
me, I want to buy a building on Florida and develop it. So we're going to be coming back on about 30 seconds, and I want to talk about no man's land. That isn't really no man's land.
Not no man's land.
It's all
Man and woman's land.
it's all about how you view things.
That's right.
Opportunities.
Where there's real estate, there's opportunity. Quote. Mass destruction. That's very-
It is 6:36. You're listening to Talk 107.3. This is attorney Franz Borkart covering for Brian Haldane. I'm sitting in the studio still with Matthew Laborde, Elifin Realty. We're talking about commercial trends in Baton Rouge, and it's time to talk about Florida Boulevard.
Yes.
So for those who don't know, there was a Baton Rouge Business Report article written by Stephanie Regal. we are also on Facebook Live right now, so if you're looking at Facebook Live, you can actually see the article. And basically,
No man's land.
they characterize Florida Boulevard as no man's land. And I respectfully disagree with Ms. Regal. And so I wanted Matthew to talk a little bit about what we can do with Florida, what's the future with Florida, how is this article possibly not 100% accurate? So, and I mean that with love. I love Stephanie to death, but I
Sure.
just don't see it as a no man's land. So what
Yeah.
do you think, Matthew?
Well, I think Stephanie is incredible at what she does. She's very
Sure.
thorough, and I think the headline "No Man's Land" is very sensational. It gets you to read it, right? But I think that doesn't characterize the article necessarily. So the article, I feel like, did a good job of holding a mirror to Baton Rouge and to Florida Boulevard and saying, "Hey, this is what it looks like." So they had the first part of the article, which was, "Hey, here are all the things wrong. Here's the plan from 30 years ago that we didn't ever implement, that just sat on the shelf, like so many other plans. And then here is the good part. Here's some opportunity. Here's Broadmoor. Here's the old Bordens that sold. Here's a bunch of different properties that are in the works of being redeveloped."
I mean, look at what we've just seen happen at Red Stick Social.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm sure someone could have predicted that was going to happen. I'm sure there was a lot that went into that. But honestly, the way we can take some of these structures and redevelop it, configure it,
Repurpose it.
repurpose it. I think there is so much potential on Florida, and I got to tell you, I tell this to lawyers all the time who are talking about setting up shops. I'm like, look, the dream is to have the big building on government, but man, oh man, can your dollar go far on Florida? And if enough investors and enough right-minded people start buying the property there, it's going to create the same chain effect that happened on government, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, and there's one thing to remember is that 2 years ago, the dream was not to have a building on Government Street. Now Government Street is the hot spot. Values have increased 50% over the last few years. But 2 years ago, it was quote unquote no man's land.
Right.
It could have been characterized as that.
And we certainly, I mean, Mid-City is on fire right now.
on fire.
We're about to talk.
Hot.
We're about to talk to Justin Lemoyne. He's in studio right now about
Justin.
Mid-City
Amazing.
Makers Market. But her article is well written, and I'm not casting dispersions on her.
Right.
But I really do think that Florida is the next frontier, man. I
Yeah.
think that it could be a place where you could get a lot of bang for your buck.
Absolutely.
Now, look, we're running out of time, Matthew. But if
Well-
the folks out there want to talk to you, where would they find you?
They would find me elephantrealty.com.
Okay.
ELIFINREALTY.com. Or they can call our office at 800-895-9329. But here's the thing, Franz.
Sure.
So one thing that they missed about Florida Boulevard in this article is that a lot of it is all symptoms of the problem. So symptoms of a problem, which are the demographics, which are a product of struggling school system. In what would really catalyze Florida Boulevard, if you pick the top 3 charter schools they're attracting to Baton Rouge right now, Basis, Idea, KIPP, and you located them in 3 different neighborhoods along Florida Boulevard, that would build up those neighborhoods, bring in residences, which would in turn bring in retailers that people want to see there.
It's all connected, right?
That'd be huge.
Education, job
Absolutely.
opportunity,
Absolutely.
Businesses. It's all connected, and I'm loving the possibilities. We've got about 1 minute left with you, Matthew. Anything else we need to talk about before you skedaddle?
Well, there's a second part to my Florida Boulevard plan. So
Okay.
the first part, best charter schools, not just any charter schools, Basis, Idea, KIPP. These are some of the best charter schools in the country that everybody would love to send their kids to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, second part is, and get ready for this, Franz, no zoning.
No zoning.
Take away all zoning restrictions. Rebrand Florida Boulevard as Baton Rouge's free enterprise zone.
I like it.
Revolutionary. You think it'll happen?
Something's going to happen big on Florida.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give up on it. I don't think it's a no man's land. We got about
Definitely
15
not.
seconds left. Matthew, we appreciate you coming in. If I get to host again, if I don't set this place on fire, we'll certainly have you back. Elephant Realty, commercial trends in Baton Rouge. Matthew, have a great morning, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much for having us, Franz.
Thanks, sir. Let's get Justin in.